like Darker Side or All Unique Moons. Alright, looks like we're getting started. So for any who doesn't know what bingo is, or triple bingo, you see the square in the middle, the bingo card, and to get a bingo you have to get 5 squares in a row, column or diagonal. And since this is triple bingo, you have to get 3 bingos. So the Cap Kingdom will be pretty standard, like in any percent. They just get through as fast as possible, because you can't get anything in Cap Kingdom at the first visit. You could get a few coins, but usually you're not decided on the route to commit some time towards coins. And there are faster coins as well later on. The only thing that could be important in Cap Kingdom is getting the checkpoint on top of the top hat tower, because usually you always skip that in any percent. But in bingo you might want to return to Cap, and if you have that checkpoint it can be a significant time save. So far both runners are pretty close. The runners probably haven't decided on their route yet. Like right now they are playing and trying to look at the board at the same time. Ooh, we're seeing PepsiAverage going for left side, ignoring the checkpoint, while BBarbs got the checkpoint. And BBarbs is also a little bit faster, I think. At least he's in the lead now. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. So, yeah, the runners are trying to route right now, looking at the board, seeing which squares are good, which lines or bingos are good. And at the same time they're trying to go fast, which can be really hard. And I've seen people die in Cap Kingdom. I've died as well in Cap Kingdom. So yeah, it can be hard to play and route at the same time. So now we're coming to Cascade Kingdom, where they have to defeat Madame Brood to unlock many things. And after Madame Brood is the point where routes start to differ sometimes. Because there are, like on this card, there are goals like 25 regional coins in Cascade. You could start collecting those at the start already. Like they already passed like 9 purple coins, but they either haven't decided on the route yet or they don't want to go for it. There's also 4 moons from sub-areas in Cascade, which is only available after Madame Brood. So it would be best that they soon decide on their route, because if they want that square, the sub-areas from Cascade, then they have to know it after defeating Madame Brood. Or they could always come back to Cascade, but you usually don't want to do that. Except if you can combo it with another square, like the shop only unlocks if you come back to Cascade, so if there's like many shop moons or many stickers, then you might want to do that. On this board there's 1 moon from Hint Art, which requires a revisit, and that's usually done in Cascade, so when they get that moon they could also go for the sub-areas if they forgot. But optimally they would get it right now, in my opinion. If they really want it. It's always a question. If they want it, if they need it. Oh, PepsiAverage having a little bit of trouble getting the second last hit. So BBarbs got a little lead. But now Pepsi is finishing the boss fight as well. Alright, so I'm interested to see if the runners are going for sub-areas or regionals, or if they are just going out as fast as possible. Okay, Barbs is going to the fastest moon. And collecting purples. Alright, so we have the first square that we know our runner is going for. And PepsiAverage is going for the exact same thing. Oh no, he isn't. He's going for either... Like, he could do this room either for the sub-area square, or he could do it to farm some coins, because this is a really... the sub-area is really rich on coins. I think there's not really a coin goal on there. Maybe the costumes. But he's probably going here for the sub area. And Barb's got the 25 purples already, so we got our first marked square. Okay, is there a... Yeah, there's also total sub-area moons on here, so we'll have to keep track of how many sub-areas they complete, because that's a goal that's hard to track. Also, as a runner, it's hard to track because you can't look it up anywhere. Usually there are like lists or something where you can look it up. Maybe like the captures, there's a capture list. For the stickers, you can look at the Odyssey. Costumes, you can check inside the Odyssey. You can check the purples on the map. Oh, Pepsi's also going for purples. So PepsiAverage wants all of the cascade bowls. It's too early in the game to tell if that's a good idea. And I also haven't tried to route the board, so it's hard to tell. Okay, what do we have in the Sand Kingdom? We have 20 moons, that's 4 more than any percent, so it's not that hard. We have plant seeds. There are 3 seeds in sand, but only one of them is really fast. Oh, Barb's grabbing the checkpoint. Is there checkpoints in sand? Yeah, 8 checkpoints in sand. I think that's every checkpoint except for the painting checkpoint. Like the war painting island. And PepsiAverage is getting his second sub area, which also counts as an 8-bit moon. But I don't think that 8-bit moons is on the board right now. Nah, it's not. So... I think Barb's skipped some of the moons from any percent. But he's still grabbing most of the fast moons. So he might have a plan for later. Oh, he's going up to the tower. Oh, there's a checkpoint on the tower, so he probably wants that. There's also squared answer 6 Sphinx questions, and there are 5 in sand and there's 1 in wooded, so if they want that, then they can get it pretty early. There are also 5 more questions in seaside, but for that square you don't want to go to seaside. there are also 2 music notes in sand, and if you want the 6 music notes, then you need to get both of those, I think. Yeah, there are 7 music notes, and one of them is in snow and one of them is in seaside, so if you want that square, then you should get for all of the moons from music notes. Oh, Barbs was trying to get a shortcut, but unfortunately he died. Okay, so PepsiAverage got his 4 moons from sub-areas, and he got his 25 pearls. Oh yeah, the Sphinx in Wooded has only 1 question, which is enough to get to 6, because Sand has 5, Wooded has 1. But there's also a square that is 8 Sphinx questions. It's not currently on the board. But that square requires you to go to Sand and Seaside. So yeah, Barbs is collecting the moon shards. This is a rather slow moon, so I think that he wants to go to the pyramid. Clips are not allowed in this race. Luigi hint darts are allowed, but coins are not that important for this board. But yeah, since the clips are not allowed, he has to get the moon shards to open up the door to the pyramid. And Pepsi is now also entering Sand. He is a bit behind, but he has an additional square, so doesn't mean anything. I think he also got the sub-areas pretty quickly, so he's definitely still on good pace. Okay, so Barbs opened the pyramid door and he's heading straight to the pyramid, ignoring even a quick moon. So since he ignored one of the quickest moons here, I figured that he's going for world peace, because if he goes for world peace he gets 6 more moons. And there's a square on here that says world peace in 3 kingdoms except Cap, Cloud and Lost. Which basically means that you get world peace in Lake, Cascade. Those are the ones that are in any percent, so they are really quick. And then you get world peace in an additional kingdom, which is usually Sand or Wooded. So maybe he wants to go for that, and in that case he might world peace Sand. There's also the square 6 multi-moons, which is the any percent route plus 2 more. Well, if you go up to Mecha Wiggler in Metro, then the Mecha Wiggler is the 4th multi-moon. And if you get 2 additional moons, like from Sand World Peace, then you have enough at Metro. Okay, let's see what Pepsi is going for here. He is going in a different direction. He's also collecting checkpoints. Taking a second to think about what he wants to do. Oh, going into this sub-area with only 1 moon. So this is the intended way to get to the Jaxi ruins. Usually you see runners just hopping into the Blood Bill and flying over to the ruins, doing a risk jump. But yeah, this is the intended way, and there's a moon down here and purples and a lot of normal coins. But this wall jump are a little bit tricky sometimes. Okay, does he want the coins? No, he doesn't want the normal coins. He just wants that moon. This counts as a sub-area, but it's only 1 sub-area. So It's a bit awkward sometimes, because if you're going for a goal like 14 moons from sub-areas, then you usually want all the 2 moons in a sub-area, because usually they have 2 moons, except this one. So if he wants the 14 moons, then he has to either go into a sub-area and only get 1 moon, or he has to get extra moons. Okay, now Pepsi's getting some purples here, and Barbs defeated Harriet, which gave him a multi-moon and access to the boss fight that will unlock World Peace. Also, Pepsi ignored some checkpoints, so I don't think he's going for that goal. However, he's going for another sub-area and a note moon. By note moon, I mean moons from music notes. Okay, Barbs is heading straight to Knuckle Tech, which is the boss fight. Okay, let's see if Pepsi completes the sub-area, because it's a pretty long sub-area. Yes, he will complete it, okay. Since he has 1 extra moon from the sub-area, he could have just warped out. Although I guess the second moon is not that slow anymore. Barb's grabbing an extra moon and heading to the boss fight. There's a huge stack of coins on top of this building where Barb's just entered. But he's probably not going for a goal that needs coins. And the only coin goal here is purchase 8 full costumes. And you can even do that with purple coins, so... Oh, purchase 4 hats as well, but 4 hats are only 200 gold coins, so... That's nothing to worry about. Alright, now PepsiAverage is going to the tower. So does he want world peace as well, or does he only want the checkpoint up there? BBarbs is doing pretty well in his boss fight, and PepsiAverage got the checkpoint and the moon. So let's see if Pepsi will go for the shards to open up the pyramid, or if he just... Yes, he wants the shards, okay. Bottom left, top right, column 2 and row 4 to finish in early day metro. Sounds like a decent route. And if you get world peace in sand, then you already have the 6 multi-moons. And you can even get 20 coins in night metro. So you could finish on Mecha Wiggler. That sounds like a pretty good route. So far I have no idea what the runners are going for. Well, Barbs is probably going for the 3 world peace square. And Pepsi might as well. Because right now he's opening up the pyramid. He's also collecting purples, so he might also want the 125 regional coin goal. Oh, Barbs already knew that he was going back here to get the last moon, which is really quick. Oh, he's getting more moons? In that case, I'm still surprised that he skipped the luggage moon. Okay, that means Barbs wants the 20 moons for sand. PepsiAverage is going for more sub-areas. He already has 7, while Barbs has 0, so that's a big difference. Oh, Barbs died. I think he was trying to get the bird and took a death there. But he still needs like 2 checkpoints, I think. You can get exactly 27 regional coins in Night Metro. But 3 of them are pretty out of the way. Right, Barbs got another checkpoint. Pepsi got his 9th moon from sub-areas. Ooh, is that possible, Barbs? Wow, okay, that was really cool. I've never seen someone using the Glyden to get both of those checkpoints and also the moons. I mean, it's probably not useful in any category, but for bingo it's a pretty cool trick. PepsiAverage answering some Sphinx questions. So you might want to go for that bottom right square. And Barb's got his last moon here. But he's still not done. He doesn't want Sphinx questions. Does he want purples? Okay, so PepsiAverage answered his 5 Sphinx questions, so as soon as he gets to wooded, he can complete that square. Okay, so Barbs is heading off with his 20 moons in the backpack. Oh, he wanted checkpoint, of course. Ooh, PepsiAverage trying some quick strats, but unfortunately dying there. This time taking it a little bit slower. But he's done it. Okay, so Barbs chose the Lake Kingdom. It doesn't really matter in most bingos, but in some bingos you can get a small advantage by choosing wooded first. It probably doesn't matter in... it probably doesn't matter in this board. I was just about to check the board. Maybe if you choose wooded first, you could get an advantage in getting the moon from hint arts. Because the wooded hint art and the wooded painting show to sand if you choose wooded first. Okay, yeah, Pepsi realized that he only answered 5 questions. And unmarking the square. And Barbs is doing any % lakes so far. Are there any lake goals, by the way? If he wants a moon from hint art, then he can look at the hint art in lake, which is one of the quickest ones. There are 2 music notes here in lake. But I think he only got 1... I think he got 0 music notes in sand. Okay. PepsiAverage fighting Harriet. It's not the hardest fight, but he entered with only 2 health, so it is a little bit risky. And the hitbox tricked him a little bit, so he took 1 damage there, but he doesn't have a problem. Meanwhile, Barbs already defeated Rango. Rango is one of the quickest brutal fights, so that's why I almost didn't realize that he was fighting it. So yeah, almost synced up streams, except that they're in the wrong kingdom, and the bananas have the wrong color. Yeah, that's basically already world peace in 3 kingdoms for Barbs. He hasn't marked it yet, so he might not even go for that square. But yeah, he doesn't want the node moons in Lake, so he doesn't want that square probably. PepsiAverage counting his checkpoints, but he has only 5 out of the 8. He still needs the Jaxi Ruins, the Bullet Bill, and the Oasis, I think. For 8 checkpoints you need all of them except the painting checkpoint. And yeah, Westside in chat just pointed out that if you choose Lake first, then you can go through the war painting and get another checkpoint in sand. So that could be one of the advantages for choosing Lake first in this board. Okay, Barbs entering Wooded Kingdom and already going to Deep Woods. Usually in any percent you do not want to fall into Deep Woods at any cost, but in Bingo Deep Woods has some really good squares. So it can be really a really good place. And right now it looks like Barbs wants that moon from a shiny rock. If you're going for the square 2 moons from shiny rocks, you have to either go to Deep Woods or revisit Cascade. And going to Deep Woods is usually faster. Now he just has to get that T-Rex to do what he wants him to do, which is breaking that rock. There is a little trick where you have to hold the rock and jump into the T-Rex, but it doesn't work if you only have 1 health. So yeah, Barbs unfortunately died, and now he has to watch the cutscene again where he falls down. And PepsiAverage bonking on that little... I don't even know what it's called. Let's call it a hole. Which is really annoying. Doesn't lose much time, but still annoying. Okay, Bob's getting some quick moons while he's down here in Deep Woods. And now he's going for the moon again. So if he just jumps into the T-Rex instead of throwing the rock, then he will get... then the rock will be destroyed. Or he can just let the T-Rex walk over the rock, that's also possible. It's quite unintuitive, like throwing a rock against the T-Rex should be more efficient than jumping at the T-Rex with the rock. But yeah, sometimes this game's logic is not what you expect it to be. And PepsiAverage is fighting Knuckle Tuck. Oh, again on 1 health, however there are hearts inside those eyes areas. Oh no! He touched his face and that's unfortunately a hitbox. So he took unexpected damage there. He was trying to dodge the hands and was a little bit too close to the face. So yeah, take 2 for PepsiAverage. Now he's already freeing up some hearts for later, in case he takes damage. And Barbs is now back in the normal Wooded Kingdom, and he's doing some any percent moons and also collecting purple coins. Oh, he wants the hats. So purchasing 4 hats is either 50 50 coins, 50 normal coins per hat, or 5 purple coins per hat. But you can only buy one of those purple coin hats in each kingdom. There's also a more expensive hat in some of the kingdoms, which is 20 purple coins, as you can see there. But Barbs doesn't eat that. So that's another square for Barbs. Which could indicate that he's going for bottom left, top right, because he already has 3 out of 5. And it's also a pretty good row in my opinion. Like, the 18 moons from Lost take a while. But if you have another row or column with that same square, then it's not that bad. And Pepsi got his World Peace in Sand. And his 3rd multi-moon. Yeah, Cascade, Lake. Cascade, Sand. Barbs is getting his first sub-area. Okay, so Pepsi is probably going to collect some checkpoints now. Oh, Barb's having a little bit of trouble in that flooding pipeway. Which is one of the most hated sub-areas, I think. At least under any percent runners. Ooh, Pepsi getting his 2nd Note Moon. He might really want to go for that square. Or maybe he just wanted a quick moon to get his 20 moons from Sand. Ooh, Barbs. Oh, he saved it. He almost fell back into deep woods, and that's not something you want. Okay, now let's see if Pepsi knows where the checkpoints are, the remaining checkpoints. He has 6 out of 8. There's one on the Jaxi ruins, and there's one next to the bullet bill area. There's also one on the painting platform. Usually you don't memorize where the checkpoints are because you don't really need them in speedruns, except for the Toadette achievement, which is only used in like 2 categories. And oh, Barbs is going for the tower skip. Did he get it? Oh, no, he almost got it. Oh, that was so close. He was on there, but he wasn't sure if he was already landed. So he accidentally jumped off. That's quite a difficult trick, but it's easier than the trick that he just did. But yeah, if you haven't practiced it a lot, then it can still be hard. Oh no, he missed it again. It's pretty hard to land on those like small ledges. Oh, Pepsi got his last checkpoint, nice. Barbs might be going for non-nut moons. Where's the goal? Okay, 16 non-nut moons. I haven't paid attention if he has skipped any nut moons. But since he was in Deep Woods, he really doesn't have many nut moons. So that's a good possibility. PepsiAverage is buying his first hat. And his 2nd hat. And his not 3rd hat. Oh yeah, he realized that there's another hat. Barbs is getting his 5th multi-moon, if he wants that square. Yeah, I feel like row 4 would be a really good square bingo for Barbs, if he's going for the 18 moons in Lost already. So he probably wants at 6 multi-moons, because it's already free for him since he got World Peace in Sand. Skipped all nut moons so far. That means he only needs the normal amount at once in Kingdoms, which is 4 more. Okay, so PepsiAverage leaving sand as well now. And he's going to lake first. Like usual. And as we said on this board, it doesn't matter that much. He already got the checkpoint, so... And yeah, I'm not sure if he's going for the 1 moon from hint darts. And even then, it doesn't... I'm not even sure if it's faster actually to go through the painting in Wooded to get that hint dart moon. Instead of going for the lake hint dart, I mean. Okay, so Barbs is... Oh, he bonked with the rocket flowers and was sliding down the whole ramp again. Now he's going for another sub area. And PepsiAverage doing some 80% lake so far. I think PepsiAverage wants the note moons. So he should get both of them here. Oh. Barbs exited the tank pretty early, but sadly he got burnt because of that. But that doesn't stop him from completing this sub area pretty quickly. And PepsiAverage still on the 80% route for lake, ignoring the note moons. And Barbs probably wants his last moon now. His last non-nut moon, of course. I'm curious if he will complete the whole sub area or if he warps out after this moon. He warps out, so he's probably not interested in sub areas. Okay, that's Wooded for Barbs. Now he's heading off to the Cloud Kingdom and then the Lost Kingdom. And PepsiAverage is finishing up lake. Let's see if he wants something more from here, or if he just wanted, or if he just didn't want anything, to be honest. And yeah, he doesn't need anything here. Maybe the multi-moon, but he already got that. So yeah, Pepsi is still behind in Kingdoms, but if he chose the better route, or the better bingo rows, then he might still be at an advantage. And Pepsi is going back to Cascade. That's interesting. Oh, did he look at the hint dart? I don't think he looked at the hint dart. Because the lake hint dart is here in Cascade, so I thought maybe he's going for that. Maybe he just wants to go to the shop and buy his last hat. Yeah, that's exactly his plan. And Barbs is fighting Bowser, which is the same as in any other category. So if you've seen some speedruns, then there's nothing new usually, except if you maybe have some secret strats that nobody else has seen. But this looks like a pretty standard Bowser fight, and it's going really well. I think he hasn't made any mistakes. And also PepsiAverage got this, what's it called? Shiny Moon. Moon from Shiny Rocks. So that means he doesn't have to go to deep woods. And now he's going for another sub area, because he's probably going for that 14 moons from sub areas. Yeah, I don't know when the runners decided on their route. You can ask them later. And Barb's missing the tree. The trees in this game sometimes have weird hitboxes, especially the leaves, so dying while trying to get onto a tree is pretty common, sadly. And PepsiAverage is trying to get a nice shot with chain jump, which is the moon name. But it can be really tricky. There is a trick where you can grab the second chain jump, which is already in the purple goo, which makes the shot a little... Oh, yeah, exactly that. And that makes the shot a little bit easier if you're not getting trolled by the other chain jump. And by the ground. Yeah, there we go. I think it's a bit slower to go for that strat, but since it's easier, it's usually worth it to go for that. Okay, Barb's making quick work of Lost. He's not doing quite the any percent route. Oh yeah, he needs the 18 moons, so he's getting all the moons that he knows, probably. Because if I remember correctly, there are 20 moons available in Lost, so he needs all of them except 2. And the 2 slowest ones are probably the key below the Odyssey, and then maybe the moon shards. Oh, he missed the moon. He wanted to be really fast, but unfortunately he missed it. And okay, he got the checkpoint on top, so it's not that bad. Okay, Pepsi is entering Wooded now. So he can get his second... Oh, is Barbs going for the... Should I call it like that? Yeah, let's call it Keyed Ram. Lost Keyed Ram. And he almost got it. Wow. That's a pretty hard trick. Oh, and he missed it. You can get that key, and like a few frames after you get the key, you can put Cappy onto Glidon. And if you do that properly, then you get the key and still survive. So you can go to the moon. And usually you have to get a Wiggler, and you have to navigate him all the way to the start of the Odyssey and get the key, which is really slow. That trick is really useful, but it's really hard, so yeah, respect to Barbs for going for that trick. Sadly it didn't work, but was still nice to see it. So Pepsi got his 6th Sphinx question. I think he didn't know the answer at the start, so it's a good thing that he's playing in English, because that way he can read the question and then answer it. And he's going for his 13th sub area. So only one more and then he can mark his square if he really wants that. Oh, PepsiAverage also having some troubles in that sub area, which can be really annoying, as I mentioned earlier. Oh, Barb's dying on the bridge. Rip. That's a pretty tricky jump, where you go under the bridge and then if you do it right, you can even survive that jump. But he bonked on the bridge, which means he dove a little bit too early. And oh, now he's trying to get to Captain Toad, and he makes it. Okay, that's also pretty risky. There's so many risky stuff in Lost. Even the casual, or well, it's not the casual strat, but like everything that you do in Lost is risky. Also, Barbs is doing a really good job at always triggering Klepto after he warps or dies. Because if you, like, you see him right now going back to Klepto's platform after the warp, and if you don't do that, then he will steal your cap anyway, even though you have already passed him, basically. And a lot of runners forget it after they die or warp. Me included. Okay, Pepsi is going for nut moons. Not sure if he wants 9 moons from nuts or if he just wants quick moons. Okay, he probably doesn't want 9 moons because he just skipped one of the quicker nuts. Oh, Barb's marking his first bingo line, which is bottom left, top right. Ooh, PepsiAverage has to watch out to not die. But now he should be safe until the next moon. Oh, someone in chat just pointed out that Barbs got the coins around Captain Toad, and after that he warped to the shop, so he had enough coins to get the shop moon. Yeah, that's the small details that we sometimes don't even appreciate when watching someone else play bingo. There's also going on a lot in their heads, like while routing. For Lost it was like, which moons am I gonna get? Okay, I need 18 moons. There are 20 moons. I'm not even sure if he knew that. So which moons am I gonna get? Or like sometimes you just get all the moons that you know because you know that you have to get so many moons. Oh no, PepsiAverage dying while trying to get that nut moon. And yet there are so many little things going on during a bingo match. Oh, I think PepsiAverage died after getting that nut moon because now he wasn't going for it anymore. Okay, Barbs is collecting moons in Metro, which means that he probably wants to leave Metro to go to Seaside or Snow. So can we figure out his route? Bottom left, top right, then probably row 1 and column 3, from what he has marked so far. No, wait, not column 3, but row 1 for sure. For sure. Probably row 1. And then maybe row 4. Yeah, he's collecting purples here, so row 4 could be a possibility. Yeah, he skipped the 2 slowest. I think that was a pretty good Lost route. It was just the Lost key to the hard tree jump that didn't work. If he had gotten that moon, then he could have skipped another one. It would be interesting to know which one he would have skipped, but I can't think of any moon that is really slow. Maybe Captain Toad, if he doesn't go for the shards. But yeah, anyway, now he is getting, he's fighting Mecha Whaler, which will be his 6th multi-moon if he wants that square. And at this point, I think he wants that square. And PepsiAverage is going to the top of Wooded to get some more moons, maybe a sub area, because he still needs one for his square, or at least half a sub area. But he might as well do a whole sub area, since he still needs 2 moons. Except if he gets that 1 moon, then he only needs 1 more moon. Okay, I think Barb's got a 2 cycle, so well done by him. Ooh, okay. Oh, no. Oh, dang it. Pepsi tried to jump up there, but he bonked. Or he hit his head, rather. And then he lost all the height. Okay, there he got it. Just looking for the best way to do this jump. Oh, having a little bit of trouble getting those rocket moons, the rocket flowers. Now he got them, and he's going to get that nut. And after this nut, are there total moons in Wooded? No. Does he want the nut moons? Oh, he wants world peace in Wooded. Maybe for the world peace in 3 kingdoms. Although he should technically already have that, since he got world peace in Sand, Lake and Cascade. But maybe he doesn't know that Cascade counted. And right now he's probably already halfway through the boss fight. And yeah, Barbs marked his 6 multi-moon square, so row 4 is even more likely for him now. Okay, so Barb still needs some moons to continue to snow. And he still needs some more purples, it seems, for his 125 regional coin goal. Oh, he's going for Captain Toad. I guess that was a backup because he missed the jump to the trash can. PepsiAverage fighting the boss, Torque Drift. Yeah, he's called Torque Drift. The boss is rather slow because he has those phases between that you just have to wait. Although most bosses have those phases. But it feels so slow in Torque Drift. Barb's following pretty much the any percent route now. Except that Captain Toad back up. Oh, missed the snipe for Barbs. Sometimes it can hit that moon that's hidden in the cafe from if you start the ground pound right at the top of your jump in the air. But it's really hard to hit, and it's also satisfying to hit though. That's a sub area for Barbs, but I'm pretty confident that he doesn't want sub areas at this point. I think it's his 7th moon from sub areas. And if you look at his goals, then sub areas are not what he's going for. Okay, so Pepsi is looking for something. Oh, maybe he wanted World Peace to unlock more nuts. Though he has marked a goal now, so he probably wanted it for that goal. And Barbs is getting his last moon in Metro, while Pepsi is going for nuts, probably. Yeah, he might have noticed, oh, I skipped that nut before, and now I realize that I have to get it. Because 9 moons from nuts is more than it seems. Okay, now Barbs is still not leaving Metro, so he might want some more purple coins. Oh yeah, I remember, Barbs has also done an all purple coins run. At least one. So he knows where those purples are. Okay, so Pepsi got a nut and now he can leave, would it? Or is he looking up locations for more nuts? Or thinking about locations for more nuts? Yeah, he still needs more. And Barbs is on a purple collecting spree. And now he has enough. Marking those 2 goals at the same time. Because he had nothing else to do in that cutscene. And Pepsi is looking for the nuts. Oh, he knows where one is. Nine moons from nuts is one of those goals that can be pretty tricky because usually you don't think about which moons are nuts, because nuts don't do anything in the game, basically they're just moons. So if you haven't played many bingos, then you're not very familiar with the locations of nuts. They are listed in the cheat sheet, but always looking at the cheat sheet loses time, so runners usually don't want to spend too much time. Whoa, that was really risky, Pepsi. Like Mario was walking diagonal almost. He was really tilted. He might either be looking for more nuts or maybe for the note moon. Because usually there's a note moon on that wall, but it only unlocks after beating the game. So maybe he wanted to get that moon. And maybe he thought it was after World Peace. Okay, now he's going for this nut moon. He found one. And Barbs is going back to Cascade to get his 4 moons from sub areas in Cascade. And Pepsi got his last nut, so now he can move on to Cloud. He's checking something. Is he counting his nut moons? The nut moons don't always have nut in their name. Oh, did Barbs die on purpose there? No, he didn't. Rip. I didn't exactly see what happened, so. Yeah, Pepsi definitely counting his nuts. His nut moons. Barbs is going to finish just 3 sub-area moons away from quad bingo according to chat. So, but if he also gets Sphinx questions, then he will only need some sub-areas. Those Sphinx questions don't take that much time, so that would be pretty close to a quad bingo. That's true. Okay, Pepsi bought something. Was it hats? I think he already had all the hats. Maybe a costume set. Though I'm not sure if he needs the costume sets in his route. So Barbs is doing his second sub area in Cascade, which will be the last one that he needs for his square. Did he just jump up to that platform with the T-Rex? I didn't even know that was possible, if he really did. Yeah, he did. Wow, okay. That's cool. Oh, you meant column 2. Yeah, that's true. He's really close to column 2. And top left, bottom right as well. Okay, PepsiAverage entering the Bowser fight. He's doing a bit slower strat, but they are safer. And you know, in a race you want to go for the safe strats. If you're not too confident with the fast strats. Because they are losing more time than they save, so... Okay, Barbs finished up his revisiting Cascade, and now he's going to Snow. And in Snow he will only need 1 Barrier Moon. Barrier Moons are the moons that are basically the story moons. And they always unlock a barrier in the center of Chiveria. And PepsiAverage having a bit of trouble with it. The last hit. He's only on 1 health again. He has some scary boss fights this race. And he missed the hat. Oh no, and Bowser stole the hat back. Okay. Oh, Barb's knowing a little shortcut here. To get to that story moon faster. And that should be his last moon. Yeah, his last square, and there's his time. Exactly. GG Barbs. Okay, let's see what does PepsiAverage, or what is PepsiAverage going for? He has marked many goals, so it's hard to pinpoint his route. Oh, okay, he also stopped this time. Alright. Let's see if we can get an interview with our runners. Wow. Welcome, Pepsi.
Hello, let me just sort my settings out here.
Yeah, sure. And welcome, Barbs. Congrats on your win.
Yeah, thanks. That board is so strange, and I played. It was something.
That was quite difficult to keep track of everything.
Yeah, I think like, in Sand Kingdom, I changed my route 4 different times from which lines I wanted to do. Like at one point, I wanted to do top lane. I didn't want to do all the like Sphinx questions because at first I thought that it said 8, and I was like, I don't even know where 8 are. Yeah, it was something, but I think my routing came together pretty well, but my execution was kind of poor.
I was a bit messy as well, because I had to go back to Cascade because I forgot about the subsections, the other subsections. Also, I grabbed, while I was there, I sort of made up for the extra objectives that I could have done in Cascade, such as the shiny rock and the hats as well.
Yeah, that was a good combo, the shiny rock. Did you go for that sub area because you wanted 14 total sub areas?
Yes, I was working towards that 14 sub areas, and
Okay,
I already did the 4 sub areas as well. As you noticed, when I was counting the moons for nuts and moons for the wooded, I did realize I missed 3 moons in sand.
no, you didn't miss moons in sand because multi-moons only show up as 1 in the moon list, but they are counted as 3 for the bingo, so you can count the moon list plus 2 per multi-moon.
I think that's fine then.
What was your route at the end, Pepsi?
So my main route was to do so the world peace, because I found that the world peace I needed to do in sand and wooded, because I could have done sand, wooded, and lake. That was my main thing, while getting the regional coins and the other objectives in those levels.
Okay.
I spent probably too long. I should probably skip that one and gone for the ones in snow instead, because I realized there was a lot of objectives in snow.
Yeah, Barbs ended in snow. He only got 1 objective. But yeah, there were quite some snow goals on here. Also for the world peace in 3 kingdoms, Cascade and Lake count, so he only needed 1 more.
Oh.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if you were going... Maybe you wanted to get world peace in Wooded to unlock some more nuts. But I think there's 1 more after world peace. Not entirely sure.
Yes, there is. That was unintentional.
Okay, but it's still a good idea.
Yeah. I was gonna go for the column 2 row, the diagonal on the
Which diagonal?
from the barrier snow to Sphinx questions.
Top left, bottom right.
Top left to bottom right.
Yeah, that's also pretty good.
I wasn't sure on the third one. I think the third one would have been 125 regional coins, row 4.
Okay. So you basically just went for some goals and then, like, you weren't sure on the route yet, but you were trying to see.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what rows I was going for. I was just getting the objectives that I could complete fast.
Yeah, and Barbs, you said that you were after sand. You had your route pretty much decided.
I got a sand, and I knew what route I wanted to take, just because after I got out of sand, the only things I needed to do, because it was like the multi, so I just needed to get the lake one and the Mecha Wiggler, and then I just needed to get coins for the 125, and then I already had a few goals that went towards the purples, so those were Bill. Wooded just took a while because I had to get non-nut moons. I failed 3 times.
What did you fail? Oh yeah, the tower skip, right?
Skip and wooded. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty hard, but it was cool that you showed it in a run.
Yeah, I tried to do the glide on to get the key and lost as well at once, and I'm not gonna go for it again.
Yeah, that one's also pretty cool and quick, but it was a good idea to bail out after it didn't work.
Yeah, if you miss it once, you might as well just give up on it and go for something else.
Yeah.
So I end up buying a moon instead, and that was convenient because I forgot that there were the coins behind Captain Toad.
Oh yeah, someone in chat pointed that out. That was pretty smart routing. Getting Captain Toad first and then to the shop.
Yeah, I had to do that on the fly. Buy anything yet, so I actually had no idea what I was going to do until after I went down there, a stack of coins here.
Okay.
So.
Also, someone in chat pointed out that you were
pretty lucky, honestly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but it worked out.
Yeah.
And someone pointed out that you only needed 3 more sub areas to get column 2 as well, Barbs.
Oh yeah, because yeah, that's true. I was debating doing that column just because, I mean, World Peace and 3 Kingdoms is kind of misleading just because 2 of them are so easy. Like Cascade, you have to get, and then Lake, you want to get normal. So it's basically just one World Peace 1 difficult kingdom essentially. So
yeah, exactly.
And World Peace and Sand like kind of went with what I did, so that was easy.
Yeah, it gave you
and then
the 2 multi-moons.
Yeah.
And some moons in sand, which was pretty convenient.
Yeah. I wonder if it would have been quicker instead of something else. I don't know what I would have cut out though. Maybe not do the top row, that way I wouldn't have had to do non-nut moons and wooded.
Yeah, and you could have cut out snow that way. I think that route would have finished in early or in night metro even.
I don't know about night metro. I don't think I can get that many coins before day metro.
Oh yeah, maybe. I mean, it's possible, but you have to spend a lot of time in like sand or wooded.
Yeah, I'd have to get purples in other places. I think there's a baby crying in the background. I apologize for that.
Yeah, don't worry.
But yeah, GG's Pepsi.
Yeah.
It was a good race, even if it was kind of sloppy on both ends.
I lost track of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG to you both. It was fun to commentate.
Thank you.
Do you have any parting words to the chat?
Yeah. Make sure you keep
hopefully
on
my
top
next
of
race is better.
keep on top of your notepad because it's hard to keep track of everything when it's messy like this.
Yeah. Alright, in that case, thank you to both of you. And everyone who's watching, make sure to follow the runners and the commentator if you enjoyed the content. Also, make sure to follow Speed Gaming too and all the other Speed Gaming channels if you want more speedrunning and bingo related content. There is another bingo match coming up today at 6 PM Eastern Time on this channel. There's also a bingo match on Speed Gaming without a number on 5 PM Eastern Time. And at 7 PM Eastern Time there are already again 2 more bingo matches on Speed Gaming 3 and 5. So there's a lot of bingo going on today. So make sure to stay tuned if you want to see more bingo. Alright, that's it from me. Have a nice day and goodbye everyone.
Yeah, see ya.